In this video, we will show you how to replace your front brakes, pads, and rotors on this Dodge Ram. You'll have these located behind each of your front wheels. Let's get into it. Alright friends, let's get started on our job. The first thing you want to do is safely raise and support the front of your vehicle so the wheel is off the ground. Once you've done that, we'll continue on to removing the center cover. For this center cover, you'll find that you have several slots making their way around. We'll use a pry bar, carefully make our way into this area to remove this. A quick inspection and we can set that aside. Now that that's out of place, we'll continue on with our 8 24mm lug nuts. Remove all 8 and then the wheel. Now that I got the lug nuts off there, let's remove the wheel. Now that we have the wheel out of the way, we have a clear view of our front brakes. Let's pay attention to the caliper. On this particular type of caliper, you have 2 pistons, one up along this area and one down there. We want to try to push each one of those back. To do that, I'll use a small pry bar and come in between this area. I'm going into the fins of the rotor and I'm going to try to push the caliper towards me, outward. We should have a little bit of movement coming from this caliper now. At this point, we can make our way along the back side of the caliper and we'll be paying attention to the 2 caliper slider bolts. To remove each of these 2 mounting bolts, we'll be using a T50 Torx head socket. Inspect your mounting hardware as you remove it, replace it as necessary. Now we'll carefully pry the caliper off of the bracket. We'll be starting with the top first. We'll just roll this out of place. Once you have that off, the next thing you want to pay attention to is each one of your caliper pistons. You can see it has a rubber protective boot in this area. That's just a dust boot, but if you see any fluid coming from either of these, you need to replace the caliper. This one looks fine, so I'll set it aside, making sure I put no pressure on my flex hose. Now we can move along to removing each one of our 2 brake pads from the area. If they're stuck in place, you can use a small pry bar. Give that a little tug. Even though we are replacing the brakes, we want to give these a close inspection. This looks good. This one out of here. Once again, with a quick inspection, set those aside. Now we can move along to each of our 2 12-point 16mm headed bolts. We'll fully remove the first one, give it a quick inspection, and then put it in just a couple threads while we remove the second. That'll hold the bracket from falling on us while we remove this one. Remove the bracket, we'll give this a quick inspection, we'll set it aside. We will be working with this a little later. Alright, so let's start removing the rotor from this area. Commonly, you can just take hold of it and pull it right off. If yours is rusted in place like ours, we'll be continuing on with a lug nut. Just start it onto one of those studs. We'll use that for safety, so when we use our hammer to give this a couple loving bonks to break it free, this will not come falling off and potentially hurt us. Remove your rotor. There it is, friends. Now with our brake rotor out of the way, the next thing that you want to do is pay attention to the mating surface of your wheel bearing hub right across here. You can tell that we have a lot of debris on this area. Any of this could cause a brake pulsation, so it's important to make sure you clean it. You can do that with something such as a wire brush. We'll just go ahead and clean up as much of this as possible. We'll hit it with some parts cleaner and then some Never-Seez. You can also use one of these discs. All right, let's get ready to install that brand new brake rotor. Before doing so, make sure you clean both of the braking surfaces. Let's get that rotor in position on that wheel bearing. Now, once you have it on here, it's always a good idea to make sure it's held in place while you continue. To do so, we'll be using a lug nut and we'll bottom this out. Let's move along to preparing our bracket. To do this, I'm going to put it in a collection receptacle. On each side of the caliper bracket, you'll find that you have a tin or a shim. Let's remove each of those. Our kit came with brand new shims, so we're not so worried about these. Let's go ahead and take those off and we'll set them aside. The next thing you would want to do is clean up the area where each one of those shims is located. Sometimes a little bit of parts cleaner will clean them up, other times a wire brush will be needed. Once you have the bracket cleaned up and inspected, we'll continue on with some high temperature caliper lubricant. The areas that you want to add the lubricant is in the areas where those two tins were located. This will help with vibration dampening and noise reduction. Now we'll continue on with our two brand new tins. You'll find that these look a little bit different, and one of them will be longer than the other. To tell where each one of these goes, you'll find that the tin will only fit on one side. This side of the bracket has a longer area, so I'll be using that tin. Get this one on here. Double check to make sure each of those are secure, and we can get this over to the vehicle. We'll get this bracket in place, continue on with our two mounting bolts. Start each of these in. Once you have them started, snug them up and then torque them to 100 foot-pounds. Now we can get ready to install our brake pads. You'll find in your kit you have two pads that have the wear indicator on them and two pads that do not. As for the pads that have the wear indicator, that would be the inboard pad, the one on the inside there. We want to make sure we have one with the wear indicator and one without. Let's take this and start putting it in position. We're going to have to come in at an angle and then swing it right in there. There we are. Once you have it in there, just ensure that it can move around a little bit. If you had to put it in with a hammer of some sort, the bracket might not be cleaned up well enough. Now we'll do the outer pad, which is the one without the wear indicator. Same process. We'll just come in at an angle and start putting it in the proper position. Double check to ensure that it can move around as needed. That feels good. Now let's start paying attention to the caliper itself. We'll have a look at each of our two caliper sliders. You have one over here and one on the other side of that caliper. We want to ensure that they're freed up so they can move back and forth and they're well lubricated. To do that, I like to just push it out one side here. We don't have to fully remove it, but you do want to give it an inspection. If it looks like it's rusted, rotted, or it has a whole bunch of pitting, that could cause a restriction and cause some damage. If that's the case, you'd want to replace that. Ours looks fine, so I'll continue on with wiping it down. And then we'll continue on with some high temperature lubricant. We'll come inside of this boot and try to make our way up to the center. We'll also lubricate a little bit of this shaft right here, but we don't have to do too much because typically the boot will push it away. Trying to get up inside this area. Coat this. That'll help it slide in. Now we'll just press this in, get the boot in the proper position, work it back and forth. Do the same to the other caliper slider. Next, we'll be paying attention to our 2 caliper pistons. We want to clean these up and look for pitting as well. We'll look along the back side of each of these 3 ears, just give them a quick wipe, double check to make sure there isn't any foreign material on this area. Now what we'll do is we'll just double check to make sure each of these 2 pistons are pushed in as far as possible. Now when you do this, you want to be careful not to press in one of them without pressing in the other, because while pressing in this one, the fluid will actually force this one out a little bit, and you can cause potential damage. So with that said, I'll just be using one of my original brake pads. Now I'll put my caliper compression tool in here and push in both of these caliper pistons at the same time. Double check the piston area for any fluid one last time. This is looking great so far. Let's continue with some of that high temperature caliper lubricant. We'll make our way around each one of these 2 caliper pistons and along the back side of each of the 3 ears on the opposite side of the caliper. Once again, this will help with vibration dampening and noise reduction overall. Let's take that brake caliper and we'll bring it right down over the pads. You'll find on the lower aspect of the caliper ear here, it has this little nub that will fit behind here. This area will go behind the tin as well. Slide that down in there. That looks good. Now we'll swing the upper area into the proper position. That should make its way behind this tin. Now we can install each one of those 2 caliper slider bolts. We'll be starting these in by hand. Snug them up, and then you'd want to torque these to 24 foot-pounds. Now while we're here, let's pay attention to that flex hose. We just want to ensure that it's not twisted like a pigtail in any way. That can cause a brake fluid restriction and a brake pull. This is the way it should look right here. Get back out here, we'll remove this safety lug nut here, reinstall the wheel. To install the wheel, we'll be putting it in place. Start on all the lug nuts, bottom them out, get the wheel safely back on the ground, and then torque them to 135 foot-pounds. Now that we have the wheel on the ground, let's torque these in a crisscross manner. Torqued. Of course, if you have a center cover, put that on now. You'll notice along the back side of it, you have 4 areas for your lug nuts to fit into. We'll get this aligned and drive it into place. Okay friends, we showed you how to do one side of your front brakes. The process for one side of the vehicle will be the exact same thing for the other. Once you've completed that, make your way into the passenger compartment. Pump up that brake pedal till it's nice and firm, and then take your vehicle for a road test. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.